Started. Get going.
I see you made it. About time.
Yeah, I know. Cutting it close.
Cutting it real close. All right. Here we go.
Recorded live.
Good evening. This is Gary Rossio of the San Diego Veterans Coalition. You're listening to GC Community Chat. And now here's your host and my good friend, Mr. Kerry Parton. Kerry?
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome back for another episode of GC Community Chat. I'm your host, Kerry, and joining me tonight is Wayne County Commissioner Richard LeBlanc and Dr. Tom Iwinski. This show is dedicated to you, the residents and businesses of Garden City, as well as the surrounding communities. Remember, we're working hard to promote our community and yours. Well, hello, everyone. It's Thursday, January 22nd, 2015, and you might have heard the dog barking in the background. I think somebody's here to visit us. January 22nd. Huh?
I said get him.
And you are listening to show number 230. And, hey, before we go any further, I want to wish my lovely wife, Cheryl, a happy 43rd anniversary today. Love you, babe.
Hey.
Yay.
Congrats.
Okay, I'm your host, Kerry. Also joining me tonight is Wayne County Commissioner by phone. Richard, how you doing?
I am okay today. How are you today, Kerry?
Doing good, doing good. All right.
Good, good.
And our resident weatherman, Dr. Tom, is in the house. How you doing, Tom?
I'm doing good, Staying
Good.
warm.
Well, hey, look who came and joined us tonight, Mr. Mike Joenes. How you doing, Mike?
Doing pretty good for a old invalid.
Well, you look like you're
Go
getting around.
Tigers.
What's that, Richard?
I said go Tigers.
Yeah, go Tigers.
I'm on the DL, so they can do whatever they want.
You're on the DL, buddy. All right, well, welcome to the show, and welcome those of you listening online in the chat room, and to those that will be watching us on our YouTube channel later on. Thank you. We appreciate your support every week. Well, tonight we have another great show for you. We'll be talking with Richard about a vote the commission had. I believe it was today, right, Richard?
Yes.
And you'll tell us all about that. And Richard also wanted to share with us some of the festivities that he was part of for MLK Day. Also, an event that Cheryl, Richard, and I were a part of. That's the Billy Riddle fundraiser that was held Tuesday all day at the GC Cafe. If you were not there, you missed a very emotional and successful event. The main organizer of the event, Mr. Darrel Manuel, will be calling in with how it all went down and the details. So quite a story. You won't want to miss that. Tom's going to be here shortly with all the latest weather for us. And Holly and Joy are back with their 2-minute gardening tips. And tonight, I believe it's all about onions, my favorite. I love onions. Yum. We also have some announcements for you as well, so we hope you'll stick around for the next 60 minutes or so. Now you can join the conversation via our chat room by going to our main show page at TalkShoe.com and search for call ID 82757. Once you're there, just click on the large join in button, sign in as a guest, and that's all there is to it. Now, once you're in there, in the chat room, you can type your questions or comments at the bottom of the page, and you'll find our phone number and show ID there as well. Now, to call in, the phone number here is 1-724-444-7444, and you're going to enter the call ID 82757 followed by the pound sign. You can always text your questions or comments to us at 734-788-9319. So sit back, grab your favorite beverage, and enjoy the show. Now, let me mention real quick, once you're at our main show page, you'll see all 230 of our shows there. You'll be able to download whatever shows you would like to listen to at your convenience, whenever and wherever you want. It's a great way to get caught up on any shows you may have missed. We're also in iTunes for your convenience. Just search for GC Community Chat. And don't forget, we're doing a video recording of tonight's show, so you can put a face with the voice, and that video will be available later on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/communitychatshow. We have several other shows for you there as well, so check them all out. Okay, before we go any further, let's get the latest weather update from Tom, and then we'll get to Joey and Holly. Okay, let's do a check on weather with Doppler Tom. Let's see what he has in store for the rest of this week and the weekend coming up. Tom, take it away. Tom, how you doing? No more snow tonight, right?
No more snow tonight is the key, but there is more snow in the future, unfortunately.
Oh, Richard loves that.
So it is what it is. But yeah, we did see some snow yesterday. We got about 2.5 inches all across Metro Detroit, and it caused a little bit of a mess, but nothing too crazy to handle. And for the rest of tonight, we're going to deal with some high clouds out there. Temperatures will be pretty chilly tonight in the low 20s. And then as we get into tomorrow again, we'll see a little bit of sunshine, but there'll be more clouds than sun throughout the day tomorrow. And temperatures will get above freezing. We'll probably be in the low 30s, but just above freezing. So we'll have a little bit more melting of the snow out there, and that will improve the roads even more. So that'll be good for the drivers. And then as we get into overall, the weekend's going to be half and half. As we get into Saturday, it's going to be, again, another cloudy day out there. Not too much to talk about. Temperatures, though, will be, again, above freezing, so that melting process will continue. But as we get into Sunday, we're going to see an Alberta Clipper again, which is what we've seen yesterday, which is basically a weather system that comes out of the territory of Alberta, Canada, and that brings a lot of cold air with it, and it brings some snow as well. Sunday is the day that we're going to have to watch out for more accumulating snow across the area. And we'll probably see similar to what we've seen yesterday. A few inches is definitely likely. So just into that, and we'll adjust the numbers as we get closer. And as we look into next week, as I said, this Alberta Clipper is going to bring more cold air into the region. Definitely going to get much colder as we get into next week. But the good news is it's not going to be followed with more snow. It's going to be fairly quiet next week. It's going to be dry and cold. So as we get into Monday, temperatures will be in the low 20s. But as we get into Monday night, temperatures will start dropping into the single digits. And that will continue into Tuesday, Wednesday, and into Thursday as well. But as we get late into next week, it'll start rebounding again. So it's not going to be a very long-term cold outbreak, but it's definitely going to get more colder in the next few days. And there's going to be some more snow to keep more information. And as we talk about some other bigger weather stories across the United States, the southern United States is seeing this storm system really start intensifying. They've seen some snow in the desert parts of New Mexico, Colorado, Oklahoma, and Texas. They've seen some good snow out there. And that storm system will continue to move across the Gulf Coast states with a lot of rain and strong thunderstorms. And then it's going to move northward along the East Coast. And it's going to be kind of riding the coastline, so there'll be probably some rain and snow along the East Coast. So that's going to cause a lot of travel headaches out there. So keep tuned to that this weekend. And as I said earlier, the Alberta Clipper will come in this weekend as well. So a lot of big weather events going on across the United States. So if you're traveling, you definitely need to stay tuned to
What's that?
And the last big weather story I have is some new information that has come out from NASA and the National Weather Service. 2014 was the hottest year on record ever recorded since so our globe is definitely been warmer than it's ever been. And the last 10 years have seen some of its warmest temperatures in a very long time. So that's just saying that the planet is warming up, so it's definitely a study to stay tuned to, because climate change is another big hot topic, but we're not going to get into that. But I just wanted to briefly mention that. So pretty interesting to note that 2014 was the warmest year on record across the Earth. So on that. But if you want to keep tuned to all this local weather information, including the snow on Sunday and the cold weather coming next week, just go to my website, DopplerTomWeather.com.
All right. Thank you, sir. And let's mention that you're at your brother's house. He's got a new addition to the family. We might as well welcome Dolly to the show.
Yes. My brother and his girlfriend, they just got a new dog. It's a puppy, 11 weeks old. It's a German dog. And it's, the name is Dolly. Yes, it's a girl.
Yes.
So, yeah, they get a new puppy tonight.
I thought we were talking about something that got around on two legs eventually.
I know, right? Hey, a dog could be somewhat of a child.
Yeah, true. That's for sure. They're going to find that out. I'll tell you that.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, sir. We'll talk to you later, maybe. All right. With their gardening in 2 minutes segment, here's Holly and Joey. So let's see what they have for us tonight.
Yeah, let's talk gardening. It's January. I need some
Hit that
warm
microphone.
outdoor thoughts.
This is gardening in 2 minutes. When growing onions, it's important that you grow the correct onion depending on where you live within the country.
Onions come in 3 different categories: long day, short day, and neutral day varieties. Now, what is the difference? Well, it really depends on where you live. Onions, based on their variety, will grow at different periods of time based on the amount of sunlight that they get. They just naturally know when the longest days are, and the plants are unique that way. But basically what it is saying is that the closer or the farther north you live in North America, you will want to grow a long day onion. The farther south you live in North America, you will want to grow a short day onion, and those are usually grown during the winter months when the rest of the country is far too cold to grow. And neutral day onions can be grown pretty much to the central portions of the United States. Now, this is something you want to do some searching on and find out specifically where you live and what's going to grow best for you. Now, you can purchase all 3 of these types of varieties
I get a sandwich about that
throughout
thick.
the country in most growing centers and seed providers online. Now, the reason why they allow that to happen is if you're in a northern climate like Wisconsin, we grow long day variety onions, but we also can purchase short day variety onions, and that would be strictly for the greens. It doesn't produce a bulb. The long day would produce the bulb. The short day that we would grow would only produce the greens. So this is very important. So if you are in an instance in the past where you've purchased seeds or you have purchased sets from a local growing center, and for whatever reason they didn't bulb up, this may be the very reason why, because you've got the wrong type of onion for the growing area that you live in. For more information on the types of onions, specifically growing them, our weekly video productions, as well as our free downloadable digital quarterly magazine, you can find all that information at
The WisconsinVegetableGardener.com.
For the health-conscious organic gardener worldwide. For Gardening in 2 Minutes, I'm Joy Baird.
And I'm Holly Baird.
All right. Thanks, guys. Good job. Love my onions. Mike and I were just talking about a nice thick piece of onion on a hamburger, man. I love it. Vidalia. What'd you say, Richard?
I said we heard you.
You heard us? All right. Let's see. It doesn't look like Darrel is on the phone. So, Richard, let's get you in here. And let's talk about what's this vote that the commission had today.
Today was the first opportunity for the Wayne County Commission to vote on appointments made by County Executive Warren Evans. So the charter requires that the commission be offered the appointments. The commission can either approve, reject, or do nothing. If the commission does nothing, they become automatic after 30 days. If they become approved, they can be retroactive to the date of hire. If they become denied, well, then they're not confirmed. And today, there were 3 high-ranking people, and they each had different attributes about them. Certainly, very fair to say, excuse me, they are brand new to this line of work, and so there were a number of questions, and of course appropriate responses, and the votes were not unanimous to approve, but nonetheless, all the people did become approved today.
So not a lot of experience there? Is that what you're saying?
You know, they're very experienced people. The 3 that were up for consideration today, they're very experienced people, but not in government.
Okay.
And to a larger degree, perhaps, not even in the field in which they've been hired, let alone government. So
What's their functions?
My opinion was shared by some others, and basically it's that this is the team that the executive claims he needs, obviously wants, and is confident that will move the county forward. So, I joined a majority of my colleagues in supporting them.
Mm-hmm. Mike, you had a question?
Yeah, what are their positions or functions?
So the three that were up for consideration today were the Department of Community Health Deputy Director. Another person was the Deputy Corporate Counsel, the number 2 attorney on behalf of Wayne County. And then the third was the Director of I'll call it the Department of Economic Development. It has a different name. I think the name is Neighborhoods and Economic Development, if I'm not mistaken. So each of these three people were credentialed. It's just that their credentials were not in this particular field.
Okay.
So would you say it's a good thing or bad thing? I mean, could be.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not either.
Sure. I don't know that I would be as gutsy regarding some of that stuff because I'm more, inclined to say I'd like the best person who's already proven themselves in whatever field.
Right.
So
yeah, that makes sense.
But we'll see.
Time will tell.
The explanation that I received, and as a courtesy, I reached out yesterday to these people. I talked to them directly after I talked with Mr. Evans' chief of staff, and the mantra was, we're thinking out of the box. We want to do things differently, and we're confident this is going to work. So.
Cool.
Well, I think that's what the people of Wayne County want. They want competent leadership that they can trust and feel are ethical and are going to do the right job and take care of their money and so forth and not waste it.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. You went to the State of the State address, correct?
I did. Yes, I did.
And how did that go? What were your thoughts?
Well, so I arrived early. I was able to move some things around so that I actually arrived in Lansing at about 1:30 for a 7 o'clock event. It allowed me an opportunity to meet with some folks privately that I contacted in advance. And the better part for me was the mingling a couple of hours before the event itself. I got to see a lot of people that I've had previous encounters and relationships with, and it was very nice. As far as the State of the State itself, well, it was kind of safe.
Kind of a sell job, wasn't it, on the tax increase, sales tax?
There were really divided, shared opinions regarding that.
Yeah.
Some people said he really, really emphasized how important this is,
Yeah.
and yet a very high-ranking individual of the same party as the governor said if that's the best he can do, it's doomed to fail because he hardly said anything.
Well, yeah, lay it on the constituents, Leave it up to them.
Yeah, but it looks like the legislature bailed on taking the responsibility.
Yeah.
And it doesn't appear that there is a plan B. They're essentially saying you approve this or we go another year with the roads deteriorating and not much being done.
Yeah, I don't know if this is such a slam dunk. I really don't. I mean, I'm hearing a lot of stuff from people that are voting no.
I'd like to know more about it, but I'd be inclined to support it just to get something moving.
We have to do
have
something.
A program that's going to maintain our roads for the foreseeable future.
Yep.
One of the things about this that will become more known, if you will, or more talked about as time goes on, this is not just a roads proposal. In fact, a highly placed Republican operative, if I can call them that, on WWJ after the State of the State commented ad nauseum for a long time about how this is what in Lansing is referred to as a Christmas tree. There are so many things attached to it. Low wage earners, schools, local municipalities, counties.
See, that stuff people don't know about.
Piece.
You know?
I know, and it's very true.
Yeah.
There's a lot of money, nearly $1 billion.
Wow.
Would be proposed to go to these other places, and of course, it does also address the road issue. But all of that was done, in my opinion, in an effort to get people in the legislature to vote to put it on the ballot.
Yeah.
Smooth it out. The people they might represent are not going to be supportive of it.
Smooth it over a little,
Give more groups a vested interest in supporting it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I read, like the school fees. There's a guaranteed school component. What the heck does that have to do with roads?
Exactly. I was just going to say that.
So the school superintendents took a formal vote statewide. It was reported I'm going to say a couple days ago, that they're supporting this initiative, this effort.
Why not? Why wouldn't they?
And it was placed on the ballot to fix roads. Well, now it's going to fix roads. It's going to fix schools. It's going to fix low-income earners. It's going to fix municipalities regarding revenue sharing. It's going to fix. And all we have to do is vote yes.
And you've been outspoken about this. You've been outspoken about this, I know, and you're voting no, aren't you? You're not supporting it.
Everything that I know today, I am definitely a no vote.
Okay.
Now, I can't imagine that there's something that would come along that would cause me to change my mind, but I do want to leave myself a little wiggle room because you never know.
Right.
I mean, I didn't know the day after they agreed to place this on the ballot, for example, that it was going to fix the schools and this and that and the other. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So there's probably some other things that I don't know, just like other people.
Well, yeah, I think you just informed a lot of people right now.
I am anti-legislative proposals or initiatives placed on the ballot. That's the legislature's job.
Yeah, exactly. That pisses me off more than anything.
And that's their job, not our job.
Yeah, that pisses me off more than anything, that they're leaving it up to the voters to decide what they should have done. And then if it's voted down, then you know what they'll do? They'll turn around, they'll say, well, see, we told you,
Yeah. So they don't want to take responsibility for doing what they should be doing.
Yeah, this burns my butt, too, having to vote on it.
Every one of them can say, whether they voted yes or no, they can say, I didn't vote to raise your taxes.
Yeah.
And that's appealing to some people. And,
well,
I mean,
it's a tax hike no matter how you look
where you
at it.
live to run around and say, I love higher taxes.
Yeah.
The fact is, taxes are a necessity. That's how we pay for a civilized society.
Right.
But that's also why we elect people to represent us at various levels of government.
Yep.
You do it.
Yep. It was pretty cool that our new Senator Konisek did the Democratic response afterwards, but I was a little disappointed that it wasn't carried live and they only gave him 4 minutes, and it was on YouTube.
Yeah, well, that's the way things work. A lot of people don't know that those things are pre-recorded, and so you have to you have a slot. That's what you're offered. You have to base it on what you think might happen, and that's why you'll notice I think you did a great job with the message.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I will tell you that the first thing that I said to him after I saw it was, buy a razor. You got to shave that stuff off your face.
Did you see his official portrait today?
No.
It's got the beard. His official portrait of the 98 legislature, it's all got full beard on it. So he's keeping it.
I'm still going to get after him to get that off.
I think he looks better without it. I'm in a minority, but
yes, we are.
But yeah, I thought he did.
He did a good job.
Yes, he did.
I thought the Senate Democrats did a good job. I mean, look, they're only 11 people strong.
Can you believe
They've
it?
got a heck of a battle on their hands. And I thought that they were very good in saying, here's what we hope to be a part of to improve the state. They didn't attack via Senator Konisek. They didn't attack the governor. They didn't attack his message.
Yeah.
They didn't attack their colleagues.
Pretty
they
civil.
They said, here's some of the things that we like. And I got to tell you, even though I thought the governor's speech was really a softball largely, I did appreciate a couple of the things that he had to say. And actually, I found myself one of two people standing and applauding at one point in the speech. It
Really?
was kind of funny, and I turned to Kowalski and I said, "I'm sorry if I embarrassed you," and he just laughed.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Like Obama's speech, where one side of the room were standing and applauding, the others were
applaud that.
sitting
Yes.
there with stern faces.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Well, you know what? And I've been to 9 State of the State addresses now.
Wow.
And so I've been to State of the States where it was very, very partisan and very evident that it was partisan, with people being not nice, I'll say, especially when there were a couple of them when Governor Granholm was speaking, that it was just very, very divided.
Mm-hmm.
That did not occur Tuesday night in the state of Michigan.
Okay.
There was none of that nonsense. I mean, I really have to say that it appears very collegial. I know that it's not all roses,
Yeah.
but it appeared very collegial. I think that's good for the state. They can hash things out, the ways that they need to, not necessarily in front of 9.5 million people.
Well, I'll tell you, the only way they're going to get things done is if they work together, and you can't play that, partisan stuff anymore. You need to work together.
It really was, though, getting back to what you said, Kerry, it really was a high honor and privilege. And, as people that know Senator Knizek, I'd also add that it was very cool that he got to be the guy.
Oh, yeah, that was a big deal. I thought that was awesome, too. Yeah, he did a great job, too. So.
And I'll tell you, and it's not just because of that, but even as recently as today, downtown, there are a number of people that are saying, that Knizek guy, I mean, he's going places.
Yeah,
Somebody said today, downtown, in one of our meetings, I had to just chuckle politely, said that, before long, he's going to be our governor.
Oh, yeah.
I said,
I'm hearing that a lot.
But,
Yeah, I'm hearing that a lot. So, yeah, he definitely got his name out there.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right, well, let's move on to MLK Day. You had some festivities that you attended.
I did, and I would say that that day there's obviously a large number of events. I'm fortunate that Mary attended an event on my behalf. The event that I attended was the annual City of Westland event, and this year it was held for the first time in City Hall, the brand new City Hall, and it truly was an overflow crowd. It's one of those things, you throw a party, you never know how many people may come. But it was standing room, it was very nice, and it was good to be a part of it. When I first got elected to the city council in 1995, it's one of the things that I said that I believed that we needed to consider was celebrating formally in our city Martin Luther King Day, if you will. And Senator Glenn Anderson and I worked together on that, and then Mayor Bob Thomas actually implemented it. So, but interestingly, we held an actual event for 2 or 3 years in a row. Then the mayor decided we weren't going to do it anymore because not enough people were coming. And so the next day, the day after Martin Luther King Day, in about, I'm going to say, probably in around the year 99 or 2000, I said that was a mistake. We need to bring it back. I'll form the committee if you won't. And it was the top of the old front page news, and really the city got back on track. And ever since then, Westland has held a ceremony, and it's always well attended, and this was no exception. It was really nice.
Awesome. Well, I know we both wanted to talk about Billy Riddle. Darrel, you on the phone?
Yep, I'm here.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. Wore out, but I'm good.
Yeah, you've had a long week, that's for sure. Hey, we wanted to talk about Billy Riddle, the fundraiser, and it ran all day Tuesday. And you were the main organizer of this, you and your wife Teresa. So why don't you fill us in a little bit on the story of Billy? He's quite a remarkable fighter, that guy. Hello? Uh-oh.
Can you hear me?
You're breaking up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm at work, so.
Okay, there you go.
Here, so.
Okay.
All right. I had throat cancer myself 4 years ago. When I was going through that, Billy was one of my biggest encouragers.
Mm-hmm.
And he told me back then I was his hero, and I said, so when I watched him this last year, I said, dude, if a hero could have a hero, you're mine.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a bone marrow transplant a year ago. And they gave him a list of everything, that could go wrong and all the effects he could have.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been textbook. He's had every one of them.
Wow.
The poor guy is just, he struggled. He's had it rough. And here, like 2 weeks, the Monday before Christmas, he was doing really good. I took him in I would take him every month for a treatment.
Mm-hmm.
And he was doing really well. He walked in a walker. He was talking. He felt like $1 million. And then right after Christmas, he came down with the flu and then some pneumonia.
Mm.
And he just told us, this wipe out a healthy 40-year-old.
Yeah.
And, he's 758, and, his immune system's bone marrow transplant.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been really rough. And we have seen God work miracles the last 2 weeks. Because twice is what goodbye. And it's not done. He's still here. He's still fighting. Never will live in a spiritual fight like he has.
Mm-hmm.
So we had gone to the hospital to visit. My son was home from college, and we were on our way home, and he said, Dad, we need to do a fundraiser. We need to do something to help out, because the expenses are just getting astronomically crazy.
Mm-hmm.
He's been off of work for a year. His wife has used all her vacation time. So, she's taking a day off. She had taken the whole week and didn't get paid for it. Their employer is just gracious. They love her, and they let her take the time off, but she has no vacation time.
Mm-hmm.
So she's not getting paid for these days. Plus the expense of driving all the way out to the University of Michigan, a hospital and back.
Right. Right.
Then they put them up in the Med Inn. Well, the Med Inn is great. You can stay right there in the hospital grounds, but it's not free. It's $80 a night.
Wow.
So plus you're eating, you're home. You're eating on the cafeteria down there. Every Michigan hospital cafeteria, it's not cheap.
Mm-hmm.
So, on top of all the medical bills, and because of the new change, the affordable health care, we get me going on that. But because of all those changes, he had to change insurance first of the year.
Right.
They go on a different type of insurance, and they have deductibles, so they got to meet all the deductibles before the insurance actually kicks in. Blah blah blah. Anyways, it's just crazy how much the expenses. So I had talked to me and my son had talked about this. We prayed about it. We said, well, maybe we should do something in the church, and then he brought up, well, don't we ask Tony at Garden City Cafe?
Mm.
And I said, that's a good idea. So he was actually hanging out with Rena the night before on a Saturday night. Asked her, what do you think? And she said, sure, ask him, he'll do it. So we went Sunday after church, got lunch, and talked to Tony, explained to him the situation. I had been bringing Billy up there every Monday morning for breakfast, just to, get some food in our bellies before we went to U of M. And so Tony knew us, and Tony's response was so gracious. He looked at me and he said, what do you want to do? He didn't even bat an eyelash about it. He said, absolutely, when do you want to do it? And so we looked at our calendars, plotted the date. Best date worked out was this past Tuesday, of course. And it was phenomenal. It was really cool.
Mm.
Community, our church, and those people, I new friends, they involved in our community like that. They just what an awesome guy. Just decide us with this and sponsor that.
Yeah, you're breaking up.
And, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah. So, I'm saying his name right, Kerry?
Vic Barra?
Vic Barra.
Yeah.
Right. And from
Wayne Ford Civic.
It's come alongside us, and gotta do matching. And he said, you know what, we're just gonna donate the whole $1,000. So that was awesome.
Unbelievable.
Grand total is done by the time we got on the count between what the cafe gave, what gave, and what the funds that we raised in the box alone that night. We ended up with like $4,565.
Yeah, it's
so
incredible.
It was totally amazing. Plus, we still had money coming in. I can't tell you the next day. Yesterday, I was answering emails all day yesterday. People sending me messages on Facebook and such.
Yeah.
Said, hey, we came up there. It was so packed we couldn't get in, but we still want to donate.
Wow.
And some people said, hey, I had a previous engagement I couldn't get out of, but I still want to donate.
That was amazing.
There's still money going to be coming in. So, but I mean, really, yeah, $4,500 is great, but it's just a drop in the bucket for all the expenses that they're going to need.
Mm-hmm. But it's sure going to help. Yeah.
But the encouraging thing is when I talked to his wife yesterday, we went on critical care down into the bone marrow unit.
Mm-hmm.
Which is good. First time I heard him actually, if he gets to come home, so that was just encouraging to that. But if he gets to come home, he's probably going to need home health care.
Yeah.
There's another expense.
Yeah.
So, we can lift it up.
Yeah.
It's a long, long, hard road ahead of him.
So you presented Faith and him with the money then?
I took a little bit of the money out there to her yesterday, but I didn't take a lot because she didn't want to have that much on her.
Right.
At the hospital. So, some of the checks that were made out to the church. So I had to take them to the church, and the church will cash those and then give them the money. She's going to set up a specific account for this, and so she was going to do that today or tomorrow whenever she gets to the bank, set up a specific account. And all the monies that are donated for this will go into that designated account. I told her once she gets done, she can let me know where she does it at, and then people can actually donate right to that account.
Right. And Richard, we had the privilege of being there, till closing, and we helped him count this money. And there were people there, Darrell, that wrote $500 checks. Wow. I mean, they had a couple 500.
We had two $500
incredible,
checks.
incredible.
$50 checks. So
yeah,
this is incredible.
Yeah, it was pretty emotional night, that's for sure. But what a community,
like
though.
I said, when we started this thing, I'm thinking in my head, if we could raise $1,000, $1,500 for him, that would be really neat. And then Vic came along and said, he was going to match funds up to $1,000. So then I started thinking, I'm dreaming big. I'm like, wow, we could actually raise like $2,000, $2,500 here.
Yeah.
Really neat. And you were there with me, man, when we counted it.
Oh my God.
I was just so emotional. I was so tired, but I was so emotional that it was just a beautiful thing.
Yeah, we were all crying. Let me tell you. It was quite a night. Wall-to-wall people. The community was just unbelievable, the way they come out and supported them. Richard, I know you stopped there in the morning, right, and got a carry out or something, I heard.
Yeah, I did before I had to get to the Capitol. But and when I was in there, of course, I saw Garden City folks that I knew. They were eating. I didn't want to bug them, but we did wave. And, I had actually kind of a lengthy conversation with both Tony and Pat.
Mm-hmm.
And I thanked them, even though I don't know Billy, I know what it means to be a part of a town, a community, and participate in stuff like this.
Right.
And I'm ultra sensitive to, like as a politician, I'm very careful about going out there and asking a business for something political because I know this comes out of their pocket.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just said, I truly appreciate what you're doing there, and they both of them. I mean, actually, I thought Pat might start crying. Yeah,
they were very emotional, too.
You can't believe how honored we are to be asked to do this and to be a part of it. And, it's just one of those things. I still reflect back on, I don't know, what has it been, I guess 3 years now when they came back, and there was great joy over them coming back.
Yeah.
It's like, wow.
And now they live in Garden City, and they're just a big part of this community now. It's just, and we're so happy to have them.
Yeah, there's such a blessing to people. They don't even, I don't think but my wife.
Right. Yeah, it's just unbelievable. So, well, what is the latest now with Billy?
The latest as of, hang on a second, let me see if I can pull this up for you.
Okay.
And I will read you what his wife posted here just a few hours ago.
Okay.
But the latest is, I mean, we see little bits of improvement every day.
Good.
Which has just been amazing.
Really?
Like I said, there's been a few times. So this morning, I'll read you her post. She wrote, just had rounds with the doctors, and he felt that Bill has made some improvement. So a plan is being developed by the bone marrow transplant unit to get him ready to have his ECP. Now, ECP is the process in which a portion of his white blood cells are treated to help him fight the graft versus host disease, which is his biggest fight right now. And that's basically his body rejecting the bone marrow transplant.
Oh.
And it manifests itself in your skin, so it looks like burns, like severe psoriasis and burns all over your body.
Oh, wow.
So they're going to do that on Monday. That's the treatment I was actually taking him to every Monday for the last month. I had been taking him to U of M for this treatment, and it was really working. It was helping. And he hasn't had that now since the Monday before Christmas. The last time he actually had that treatment. So it's been a while. Yesterday, the speech therapist came up to see if he was ready for the swallow test, and believe it or not, his tongue is too weak. And if you know Billy, he likes to talk, so that's kind of hard to understand.
Yeah.
And comprehend sometimes, but
right.
Who would have thought as much as he's used it, she writes, so she's seeing a little humor in it.
Yeah,
so
that's
good.
nice, yeah.
Therefore, no food or water by mouth yet, which, if you know Bill, that's disappointing news to him.
Mm-hmm.
Please continue to pray for healing and for the doctors and nurses who are caring for him, and continue to give God the glory as we are. So that was her post today.
Well,
like I said, we're seeing little bits of improvement, and it's baby steps, really, as bad as he is. He was on the brink of death at least twice, and they had prepared us for the worst.
Right. Well, that's amazing. I'll tell you, he's a real warrior, that's for sure, and a huge Tiger fan, and we hope he's better by the time Tiger starts. So that's for sure.
Right. That's what I was going to tell him. We've only got a few more days of the pitchers and catchers report. You better hurry up and get better here.
Right. Well, hey, big shout out to Billy and his wife and his family, and to you, and continued prayers, and we really appreciate you taking the time to come on and filling us in on this.
No problem, brother. Thank you for everything you do.
Oh, absolutely. You take care now, all right?
All right, Kerry. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, quite a story there with Billy Riddle. Wow. What he's gone through and still fighting the battle, It's unbelievable. All right, Richard, I wanted to ask you a couple your thoughts on a couple things here. Governor Snyder signed the online sales tax bill. What do you think of that?
Well, I think that if you truly want fairness, and there was an obstacle involving fair taxation, then it's something that had to be done. I know that there are a number of people who believe that they've now been cheated. At least some of them have said that to me.
Yeah.
But the fact is, we live in a place where if you purchase something today, you pay 6% sales tax on it. And the fact that you could get out of it illegally, by the way, it's always been illegal to not pay that tax.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
But a lot of people do. Just not pay it.
Right.
There's a line on your state tax.
Okay.
It is a voluntary acknowledgement, but it says I bought this much worth of goods online and did not pay tax, and then you pay tax on that particular line. It's self-reporting, and I have filled that line out for as long as I can remember. And I don't know if I said this on this show or not, but in 2007, as a member of the state legislature, it was funny because we all got a request from one of the local news stations to provide a redacted copy of our tax form in the past that would show whether or not we paid that.
Oh, wow.
It was a request. And I complied. I gave them like 5 or 6 years worth of it, showing that I paid this for as long as I can remember.
Wow. Interesting.
So the story, when it came out, basically said, you know, a few people did, and most of them didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And so they got it through the legislature. The bill's been signed. It's been advocated for a long time by members of the business community. And I would ask folks who might still feel that it's not fair, think about this for a moment. Our communities, Garden City, you know, pick a community.
Mm-hmm.
We survive largely on property taxation.
Yeah.
That's where the bulk of these monies come from. You know, whether it's direct or indirect, it's property tax and, you know, the taxes that are derived from sales that give our communities a lot of money. If you have a business that is paying city tax, county tax, state tax, they're offering jobs to people, they have a building or are part of a larger building,
mm-hmm.
and that's where they sell their wares,
mm-hmm.
and they have to compete with somebody who has an extra bedroom at home and stockpiles a bunch of crap that they bought somewhere and sells it tax-free. How is that fair?
Yeah, yeah.
It's not fair.
No. Yeah, that's true.
You want to support local businesses. We talk about this all the time. If the local business is some 22-year-old kid in another state that's not paying tax and doesn't charge you tax, it's simply not a fair system.
Yeah.
So, you know, a lot of people do that, though. They'll go, whether it's to Kmart or to the shoe store or to whatever, they'll look at what they want, then they'll see if they can find it online. Well, it's patently not fair.
Yeah.
So I support it. I do. And
So
if I had been in the legislature at the time the vote was being cast, I would have cast a yes vote.
So now all that money that's going to be generated when somebody goes to Amazon.com or wherever they go, and this goes into effect in October, by the way, that money goes into what? The general fund or what?
Well,
do you know?
Not necessarily, you know, because sales tax goes different places.
Oh, okay.
It supports different things. So I guess I would just say this. It's not different than your own bank account. You get the money put in there, and then you decide that it's going to go help pay for a car payment.
Disperse it.
Help pay. Yeah. So it goes different places. The bottom line is there's going to be more of it going there.
Yeah. It's going to generate quite a bit of income, I believe.
Yeah, you know, at one time I knew the number. It's a fairly significant number.
Yeah, I can't remember either.
You know, if the difference, if it's 6% today, and I don't want to talk anymore today about the 7% sales tax proposal, but if it's 6% today, and it's 6 cents per dollar that is causing you to shop elsewhere, you know, that's. I guess I'd ask you to rethink that.
Yeah.
If it's more than that, I'd ask you to keep in mind it's because they're not paying a heat bill. They're not paying Social Security taxes on an employee. They're not paying to support your local schools, et cetera, et cetera.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have the overhead of a brick-and-mortar building. Of course they can sell stuff cheaper. But in the end, you know, when all this comes home to roost, you're not better off for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, yeah, it'll probably be a good thing for the state in the long run, for sure.
I think it'll take a while to prove it. But it's also going to be a good thing for our communities.
Yeah. It's just something we're going to have to swallow. That's all. Live with it.
Right.
All right. One other thing, Senate Bill 789, and we had discussed that. You had mentioned it on the show before, and that did not get signed, I don't believe, by Snyder, and that was to eliminate the county gun boards.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yep. So that one, the governor expressed concern over one issue that he said existed, and that supporters of the bill said was perceived. It did not exist. But, hey, the governor is the governor. And what he said was if there is a chance that somebody who has been served and is part of a personal protection order, if that individual can do certain things with a weapon that today they're prevented from doing, I don't want any part of it.
Yeah.
So he vetoed the bill.
Yeah, that was the big part.
I'd say that Senator Mike Green, and I know Mike, it was his bill. He was exceptionally gracious regarding it. And what he said was, you know, I disagree, but I'd like to work with the governor and other members of the legislature to get some very clear and exact definition as to how the problem that we are trying to solve can be solved without infringing in other ways.
So they'll reintroduce that after they tweak it, you think, then, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And I mean, that makes sense. I mean, Jesus, you don't want people like that to be able to get guns,
Well, if in fact that's true.
Yeah, if it is.
Really, is whether it is a reality or if it is something that can be tested and eventually become a reality.
Right.
So
right.
I guess rather than, try to revisit that whole thing, the bottom line is it's been vetoed. It's dead.
Yep.
So for those who are interested, they'll work on it again. If the governor is uninterested in anything like that, I'm sure that he will allow those, that are on the other side of the issue to know very clearly what he might do again.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I guess we can move on here. Mike, let's talk to you a little bit. How are you feeling? You had shoulder surgery, and let's get an update.
Yeah, about 7 weeks ago, and 2 weeks after the shoulder surgery, we went on vacation. We'd planned that since summertime. Mm-hmm. And
yeah, it was rough in Hawaii.
Yeah, it was. Doppler Tom would have had nothing to report because it was the same thing day after day, 80 degrees, 80 degrees, 80 degrees.
That's terrible, isn't it?
Yeah, we were so glad that our friends back in Michigan saved some cold weather and snow for us when we returned, so we didn't lose out on that experience. Yeah. And as far as snow goes, my wife was shoveling yesterday because I'm not cleared for doing that after my shoulder surgery yet.
No.
In fact, I'm not cleared for driving over here for this.
Shh, we won't tell anybody.
this chat program.
But thank God there's all high side streets, right?
Yeah. It's better than my excursion to the dentist today on 2.1 miles.
Now you're
on Ford
confessing
Road.
way too much, man. So let me ask you, you think you're going to be ready for baseball season? Because for those that don't know, you are a vendor or a worker at Tiger State or Comerica Park.
I have a lot of my motion back, but not all.
Mm-hmm.
I certainly don't have the strength back in that right shoulder, right arm. I'm going to have to go by the recommendations of the doctors and so forth, but my best guess is that come April 6th, opening day, that I'm not going to be working.
Yeah.
And in fact, I don't know whether I'll get a clearance to work anytime this season or not.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I've had my last day down there as far as that goes.
Wow.
But
that's big breaking news there.
Yeah.
How many years?
36.
36 years, Richard.
Wow. I hope I'm not working on opening day either. I actually want to go this year.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Well, I figure
You taking me?
I'll go through the orientation.
I didn't say I was.
I'll tell them that I plan on coming back to work, and I'll go through the orientation stuff, and then I'll just wear my vendor's badge and go down there. And
now, when is opening day this year? April
6th, Monday.
Wow, early.
Minnesota, and 2 weeks later they have 4 games with the Yankees.
Well, what do you think of Max gone?
Well, it certainly weakens the Tigers. I think you could have said that.
Void they got to fill.
Yeah, I think you could have easily said that last year, the year before, they had the best starting rotation in baseball, and now that seems to be very clearly in Washington. And
well, thank God they got a year out of Price too. I mean, he's staying now for another year, but Verlander is definitely going to have to step up for sure.
Yeah, hopefully Verlander was somewhat down related to physical stuff. And
but
you'll be over that.
Yeah, that was never publicized, though.
No. They never used it as an excuse.
No.
But it affected Cabrera, too, the whole season.
Cabrera, yeah.
So if they came back.
Yes, he'll be back.
If they got back to, form, then the Tigers definitely have a chance to do some damage in the league. Because, for one thing, I think their defense will be better.
Yeah.
The center fielder they got from Toronto is supposed to be excellent, but I don't know if he can hit.
Yeah.
Iglesias will be back, but I don't know if he can hit.
Yeah.
But you put them and Kinsler and Avila up the middle. That's pretty solid defense where you always want it up the middle.
Right.
And then the offense could be impressive. I mean,
I would like to see another catcher, but
yeah, well,
what are you going to do?
But if you got Kinsler, Cabrera, Martinez, and Cepedas batting back to back.
If Victor has another year like last year, oh my God!
Yeah.
I mean that's my Tiger.
Yeah, he is definitely a clutch ball player and a trendsetter and a great leader. And
he is. He really is.
the paper was saying something about he's the only guy in that clubhouse that can get in Cabrera's face and tell him, you're
he
having
speaks his language.
Yeah, you're having too much fun clowning around. You need to get more serious.
Right.
Because Cabrera,
he'll talk to everybody.
Anybody gets on first base, he's going to have a conversation with them.
Always. Yeah, needs to get his head in the game a little more, maybe.
Yeah, well,
he will.
You can tell he enjoys baseball and enjoys what he's doing.
Oh, he does.
You appreciate that, but
yeah,
I don't know. It could be interesting. They might surprise a few people, and
I hope so. If they all stay healthy,
it's
going to be
and you wonder about the bullpen because you have some new arms out there.
Yeah.
And you never know. Sometimes a guy will be great one year in a bullpen, and the next year he'll have arm problems and won't be worth a darn. And other times you have somebody that's comes out of nowhere and has a great year for you. So it's hard to predict those things.
Right.
I can understand why they didn't want to commit $210 million for 7 years. That's a lot of money to put on.
A lot of money,
to put on one starting pitcher.
Especially when you refuse
one starting pitcher with two different color eyes.
Yeah, well, even at $105 million an eye, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, and he refused $60 million from the Tigers or 65?
No, more than that, 140 for 6 years.
Okay, over 6 years.
Yeah,
I mean, well, that's Boris talking. That's his agent.
Yeah, Boris likes his players to go.
Yes, he does.
To free agency, and he holds out until he gets the offer that he thinks he can.
Well, Washington's got all the pitching now, but they don't have no hitting, so that's been their problem. They got the pitching.
Oh yeah, they've got 5 or 6 starters that look pretty good.
Yep.
We've got, I don't know, 1, 2, maybe 3.
Mm-hmm.
We got a lot of question marks.
Yeah,
and people who may do well.
We still have to fill that void too. So
maybe
Porcello's gone.
Yeah, and Smiley's gone, and I was sorry to see him go because I thought he had great potential to be.
Yeah, me too.
He was a young, really young fellow. Porcello was a young guy.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be some changes. What do you think, Richard? Tigers all the way this year?
I'm a fan, but I'm not sure this is their year. I thought last year was their year.
And unfortunately,
you would have thought,
their year may be behind them. They may not.
Yeah.
They may have peaked. The window may be closing for them.
That's true. That's very true.
And it's too bad for Mr. Illich because he so badly wanted to win World Series, and his health is not great.
He's not right. He's not in the best of shape either. So, well, let's hope for the best. You never know.
I like what he and Dave Dombrowski have done.
Yeah.
Team. I know that some others are critical, but I think the Illiches have just been great for Detroit.
Yeah, they have.
The Tigers, great for the Red Wings. Just really, really, genuinely good people.
Yeah, now they're building a new arena.
And I'm actually glad that they're not spending $200 million plus on the picture. I'm glad.
Well, $210 million could go a long way to 4 or 5 other, role players that could do a lot more for your team.
And they do like bringing their farm players up too. I mean, they like bringing them along. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. It's going to be interesting.
All I know is if I could work and they would win the World Series, I would retire in a heartbeat. I've been coming back for 4 years saying maybe this is the year. One more year.
Yeah, you want that ring they give you, right?
Yeah. Hey, I've got one from 2006.
Did you really?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
How'd you get that?
Well, we were offered a chance to buy them. I didn't buy the gold one. I went for the silver one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's nice.
It's a big ring. It's a heavy ring.
I've never seen it. You bring it over next time you come.
I'll dig it out.
I want to check it out. All right. Well, let's move on here. Richard, anything else you want to get in there before we go on to other stuff?
Nope, not today.
All right,
I'm saving
cool.
it for next time.
All right, save it for when you show up here, if you ever do that.
Yeah.
2015, he hasn't been in studio yet.
I'm tired of being the substitute co-host.
You do such a good job, though.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you're always welcome, Mike. You know that. All right, let me mention the city council wanted me to remind you that the first council meeting of 2015. No, that's wrong.
No, they've already had that.
They've already had one, but the
I
next,
was already there.
yeah, the next one's going to be January 26th. I'm sorry,
Right.
and that will be at 7 p.m. at City Hall, 6,000 Middlebelt Road. Council urges all residents to attend. Also, I saw the mayor today, and he wants me to let you know that the State of the City address by Mayor Walker will be held on February 24th.
Yeah, I had that down for the 17th. I wonder.
Yeah, they changed the date on that.
Okay.
Changed it
Yeah.
to 24.
Yep, it's the 24th now at Albert's on the Alley. A free continental breakfast will be provided at 8 a.m., and the mayor's speech will start at 8:30 a.m. sharp. Albert's is located at 5651 Middlebelt Road. You have to RSVP if you're going by February 20th by calling 734-261-2830 or email Teresa at downtowngardencity.com. All right, moving along. Mark your calendars for February 5th. We're going to have State Representative Robert Kozowski here from the 16th District, which includes the city of Wayne and parts of Westland. He's going to be here as our guest. Also representing the 11th District, which includes Garden City, Inkster, parts of Dearborn Heights, part of Westland, and part of Livonia. Newly elected State Representative Julie Plawicki will be here February the 19th. So we're looking forward to those shows. And let's see. Now, don't forget, if you're interested in coming on the show, we'd love to have you. You might be interested in coming on and sharing your story, or maybe you own a business or you provide a service you'd like to share with the surrounding communities. Then now is the time to contact us.
Hey, Kerry.
Yes.
When's the next Monday meeting with the elected officials that Richard and David?
Oh, coffee hour.
Yeah.
That is, what is that, the third Monday?
No, it's the following week. So that's going to be the 9th, if I'm not mistaken. Let me take a quick look.
Okay.
Yep, it's the 9th, February 9th.
February
11
9th.
o'clock at Maplewood.
Yep, 11 o'clock at Maplewood. Yeah, good. We always forget that for some reason. Well, I always remember, like, just before they have it, so. Okay, February 9th, coffee hour, Maplewood. Let's see. So, like I said, if you're interested in coming on the show, give us an email at gccommunitychat@gmail.com, and it's that simple. Now, the Garden City Business Alliance will be having their next meeting Friday, February 13th, 6 p.m. at the Straight Farmhouse in the Grand Parlor, located at 6221 Merriman Road. That's just north of Ford Road. Now, if you're interested in joining the GCBA, you can get more information about them at their website at gardencitybusinessalliance.org, or you can email them at gcbusinessalliance@gmail.com. Let's see. Remember, we will upload this show when it's made available to our Facebook page at facebook.com/GCChat. And don't forget to check out our YouTube channel once again at youtube.com/communitychatshow. And while you're there, why not subscribe? That way you will not miss any. Let's see what else we got here. Mike, you have anything for the Kiwanis that you'd like to announce?
Well, that's a good question. I think the next activity we got coming up is the
Easter egg hunt?
Yeah, we've got that, and we've got a comedy night.
Oh, yeah, comedy night.
I'm trying to see if I've even got the dates down for those things.
And I know Kids Day in the Park is set for May something.
Yeah, Kids Day in the Park is May 16th.
Okay.
But comedy night is...
That's always a fun time.
Yeah, I think it might be in March. Not sure. I don't have it written down.
Yeah, I don't either, unfortunately. but we can get it next week if you don't.
Yeah.
And then I know you're doing the Easter egg hunt this year. It's the first time, isn't it, over at Maplewood?
Well,
Or going to
it's not the
combine?
first time we've done it. We've done it before where we just had some help from the Parks and Rec people.
Right.
And the Kiwanis put it on themselves. This year, the Maplewood Community Center is sponsoring it, and we are co-sponsoring it. We're going to provide a lot of the manpower and
Oh, okay.
as far as stuffing the eggs or whatever you call it,
Mm-hmm.
and distributing them around Maplewood Center for the kids to find. And they've got a whole day's worth of events planned. That should be a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So hopefully we get a good turnout for that.
And I'm sure I'll get some information on all that stuff, and we'll get it out there for everybody.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good time for the community to come together and have some fun.
Yeah, in the past, the kids have been able to get pictures with the Easter Bunny, and they've had food, and I think there might even be a movie or something that's going to be a part of this program, if I remember reading right.
Cool. So it's going to be inside and outside then? Do you know?
Well, we've done it outside, but that's always weather dependent.
Yeah, right.
And we've done it inside when the weather wasn't favorable. You can put an awful lot of Easter eggs on shelves in the library, I'll tell you.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Richard, are you still there?
Yes.
I just wanted to mention that guest 2, I don't know if you know anything about this, guest 2 in the chat room had mentioned earlier that there's going to be an 8% plus water rate hike. Detroit will raise the rate by July 1st. Have you heard anything about that?
Wow.
Yeah.
No, I haven't, but I have to acknowledge that I am not part of the DWSD group.
Okay.
So I've not heard that.
Okay. Well, if you hear any information, maybe next week we can put something up about that.
Yeah.
Might hear something. All right. And let's see. The Garden City Garden Club had their euchre and pinochle tournament. What was that? Last week, I guess.
Yeah.
And that was a huge success. Great turnout. I think they made $700 or over $700, something like that. So they were real happy. Speaking of euchre, there's going to be another one February 7th. It's a Saturday. Registration begins at 6 p.m. and games begin at 7. It's going to be held at Gordon Chevrolet at 31850 Ford Road in Garden City. The cost is $20 per person. Prepay and registration with S. Barber at GordonChevrolet.com. Or you can call her at 734-812-5580. Space is limited, so they're going to want you to call early. Cash prizes for the top 3 highest points total. Raffle 50-50, a pizza pop, and you must be 21 or older to play. So all proceeds are going to benefit Children's Wishes in Michigan. So that's kind of nice. February 13th from 12 to 3, they're going to have the Valentine's Day party at the Maplewood Center, located at 31735 Maplewood. Tickets are $12 each, and you can purchase those at the Balmoral desk. They're going to have 50-50, entertainment, and much more. So give them a call.
Yeah, I already picked up my tickets after the
Did you
Commission
already?
on Aging meeting, yeah.
Wow.
We were number 5 and 6, I think.
We probably should have got ours, too. I didn't even think about it. I mentioned the state of the city. Also, Garden City calendars are still available. The 2015 calendars from the Garden City Garden Club, called Garden City Garden Club Paints It Up in the Garden. They're available at Lucky Dog Luxury Daycare and Boarding at 5921 Middlebelt Road in Garden City. You can give them a call at 734-261-7387, or you can order them through their website on the contact page at gcgc.weebly.com. Now, they did say, they want you to remember to include your name, phone number, email address, and how many you would like. Calendars are still only $12 each, but if you mention Garden City Community Chat through the rest of this month, you can get 2 for $20. So that's a little savings there. And they thank you for their support. Well, I can't think of anything else. Richard, you got anything?
Just that I I'm looking forward to Tom telling us that we've got over the hump. And that warmer weather is.
Well, that ain't going to happen.
Yeah. It's not hump day that we want. It's hump winter.
Yeah.
Right. Well, hey, thanks for joining us tonight. I know you're out on the road, but appreciate it. All right. And you know what time it is? I think it's time to call it a podcast.
Yeah, you love that, don't you?
Yeah. All right, I want to thank everybody that participated in tonight's show. Special thanks to Darrel Manuel for coming on and filling us in on Billy Riddle. I know Darrel was at work, and we appreciate him taking the time. Also, thanks to my co-hosts, Richard and Tom. Great job, as always. And to Joey and, was that your fans? I think I heard your fans in the background.
Yes, it was. It was several of them.
Also, Joey and Holly, all the way from Wisconsin, thank you for tonight. Also, thanks to everyone who hung out in the chat room with us. We had quite a few in there tonight. We really appreciate it. Remember, for the latest weather info, go to DopplerTomsWeather.com. He's got a nice little website over there. Very informative. And it might even say, Richard, give you an answer to what you wanted.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, check it out, DopplerTomsWeather.com. Also, if you have a show idea or guest you'd like us to try and get on, don't hesitate to send us an email right now at gccommunitychat@gmail.com, and we will do our best to provide that for you. Don't forget to join our mailing list at the same email address as well. So we hope you enjoyed tonight's show. Remember, the success of a community depends on the community, so please support your local businesses. And also, if you see something, say something. Look out for one another out there. And check out and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Once again, youtube.com/communitychatshow. And once again, happy anniversary to my wife, Cheryl. Thanks for 43 great years.
Hey.
So on behalf of Richard and Tom, Joey and Holly, thanks. Oh, and Mike. I want to thank Mike.
Yeah, what do I got to do to get on the script here?
I forgot all about you. See, I didn't know ahead of time I'd have had you on there. You were kind of iffy on the phone today.
Yeah, well.
Well, thanks for coming. We appreciate it.
I didn't know if I could sneak out of the house.
Did you wait till Faye fell asleep?
No, she was just getting ready to go to bed. I told her I was leaving. She knows.
Oh, boy. All right. Well, thanks, everybody, for listening. Take care, and see you next Thursday right here on TalkShoe.com. Have a great night. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Good night.